2023 list to do. Do you need it or not? I'm so happy to talk about should we set our goals for next year or not and revisit our achievements of this last year, some of which I'm sure we have in common. Hello, I'm Alexandra. Welcome back with Brave New World, a channel that talks about fashion, sustainability, minimalism, and most of all, personal growth. Because fashion is a reflection of your lifestyle, mindset, and choices. Fashion, food, and transport industry, you might not realize it, but they affect your everyday life and are part of your everyday choices. And minimalism is part of the personal growth and, fashion choices as well. Yes, it's again that time of the year, when the midnight fireworks and the many sent and received texts with wishes makes reflect. What do I want next year? But this is a question impossible to answer if it's not clear what I accomplished in this last year. I've divided it in three main categories: personal accomplishments, couples or family goals, and professional perspective. Now, let's start with personal accomplishment. I must say, it's not random the fact I started with this topic. Actually, there is a specific reason why. And that's exactly because, although you might think getting promotion is a personal accomplishment as you want that, or finding the partner of your life, guess what? It's not a personal accomplishment. So what does it mean exactly, personal accomplishment? Well, it means put yourself on first place and ask what does make you feel happy. Not what you want to make you feel happy as, I don't know, more money, yes, everyone wants that, or a boyfriend, girlfriend to simply go out with or build something stable, but right now, with the assets you have in hands, without that promotion you still don't have, without that dream partner you haven't met yet, what makes you feel happy now? It's been already 3 years I ask myself this question: what makes me happy right now with the things I have in hands? And trust me, giving answer to this question is the biggest accomplishment you can have in life, this year, next year, year after year, day after day. Thanks to this way of thinking, in this last year I've learned and did so many new things I thought I would never do or they weren't for me simply. Let me know in the comments below what is the thing you accomplished in this last year but you thought you never will. Doesn't matter if it was on your list or not and just happened. And here is now my list. I visit places I could have only dreamed about 10 years ago. I had always have that fuzzy feeling when seeing new places and one that I never even imagined existed. So since ever, travels has been on top of my list and honestly they made me grow up so much. Started doing easily 40 to 60 km by bicycle. I bought my bike about a year and a half ago because I've made a new friend with whom I had really pleasure to spend time with, so one of the activities we could do together was bike. And I have to say, I realized when I'm on bike I have the feeling of freedom and happiness and it is unique. Water paddle. It just grew in me and simply going on my knees in April, in August I was able to make 5,000 meters on my feet without falling down and occasionally with some medusas in water. Ski. That started actually a year and 2 months ago and to be honest I can't even believe it. I didn't have big expectations, but I had external encouragement actually from my boyfriend and friends, and I was imagining me going and ski with friends and living la vida loca of the slopes. So on my first ski lesson, I went there with my rental equipment, with big smile, waiting for my instructor, and 15 minutes later I was able to do my first 10 meters alone and stop by myself. I'm not saying without falling, but still. I haven't done that many skis since then. It's been like literally 4 or 5 times, not even an entire day. days, but I cannot wait to do it again. Kite surfing. Okay, this one is still a long way to go and more lessons to take, but I can manage to lift up my butt from water and do like 3 seconds of proper kite surfing. The first time I saw kite surf was in Mexico about 5 years ago, and it gave me the feeling of big adventure, and ever since I wanted to try it. So when I started to ask myself what makes me happy, kite surf popped up in my list. My next accomplishment, macrame. Okay, I'm far away of doing hammock out of macrame, but my plants enjoy a lot their macrame hanging pots, and I can only thank Pinterest for it. I don't plan, at least for the moment, develop my skills in this direction and start business with macrame, but I enjoy making them when needed. Disassemble and assemble again a kitchen. Yes, I know it's kind of random and particular thing to do, but as I always consider it a mystery with many tiny tools and pieces, now I can say mystery is solved for me. Cutting tiles, another random thing, I know, I haven't planned it, I was simply happy to do some works in my flat and it just happened. In this category, I would add as well cutting corners and gluing baseboards. Yeah. Doing more sport regularly. Restoring my painting abilities. I did fine arts at school for 5 years, and since then I painted just occasionally from time to time. This last year I felt now is the moment to bring more of it in my life, so I finally finished an oil painting I started 3 years ago. I can say painting gives me a unique feeling. It makes me feel powerful, like I can literally do anything. And there is no person or external influence that could ever give me that feeling in this way, because this feeling is reserved to painting. Couple or family accomplishments. Now, I hear you out loud if you say, but I'm single, and I want to say to you, when I was single, my goal in this area was simply meet nice, interesting for conversation and funny people over a coffee, glass of wine, walk, hike, dinner, any kind of occasion. One of those people is now my boyfriend, not because it was my purpose, but as my purpose was fulfilling my personal goals, which made me feel happy. That happiness and enthusiasm was contagious and attracted someone now I'm happy with too. Outside of relationships, in this area of goals, I put all parental relations as well, with close family. An example, do something with your brother, sister, children, parents. It could be a very distant trip altogether, or maybe organizing your grandfather's birthday or a wedding anniversary, or moving into the home of your dreams. It can be anything that gives you joy and you want to share with your closest people. My couple accomplishments this last year was travel together and bring our relationship to a new different level. Having a pet, and here I must say I intend to have a bunny. I had convinced my boyfriend for it, and one evening a friend of mine calls me to say she has found baby kitties abandoned by their mother. We go there to see them, and long story short, we come back home with one of those kitties, and I'm asking myself, was that a mistake? Was it the right thing to do? But today I can't imagine not taking care of this little fluff, and it's something we did together, so I would definitely say it's a couple's accomplishment in this case. Giving everyday gratitude to each other. Finally, professional accomplishment. I was the kind of person that was ready to give everything, her personal life, her health, even something I did, by the way, for fashion, because it used to be the thing I loved most. But thinking you are ready to sacrifice basic things like time for yourself. It's not my core mindset anymore, because having career in shiny luxury brand is not my core anymore. That's why professional growth is last category in my list. Build up something and make the difference. Yes, this is the kind of thought that gives me thrill, but not on conditions I lose my health or personal growth. Did that ever happen to you? Have a change of mind in your career? Let me know in the comments here below. And here are my achievements for this last year. It might sound really silly, but I'm so happy to have created this channel and started building a community. It makes me really excited every time some of you leaves a like or I have new subscribe notification, which brings me to one thought. Thank you for watching it. Thank you especially for being conscious and mindful about fashion and sustainability. Next thing on my list is becoming independent and working for myself. There was a time, I must say, when I wasn't even dreaming about this moment, as I saw it something so distant from myself in that very moment. If someone would have told me I will be developing my own business and freelancing as designer, I would have never think they're speaking truth. I would thought they're hallucinating or mistook me for somebody else. Today, gladly, I can say I'm managing my time in the way I find better, balancing my working flow with not experiencing stress. Based on my previous two achievements, I can add this one. This year, I've realized how much I've learned and I know about the fashion industry and how much I can help others with this knowledge. And this is something I hadn't realized before. It also convinced me I could do so much. So this is all that was on my list. But do you really need to make a list? Some of the things are starting my own business or traveling. Yes, I have not only planned but also worked for them in order to make it happen. But most of my achievements, they just took place in my daily life and I didn't have to question them or seek for them. Having a pet, learning ski, being more regular with sport, all of those things that I could easily call an achievement and I'm so grateful for, they just came into their place with no effort, with no check on 2022 bucket list. And this only because of one question: what makes me feel happy right now with the tools and assets I have in hands? Avoid thinking what you haven't done yet and you still must do. Focus on what you have done. Focus on what makes you feel happy, joyful, radiant, and embrace that feeling and never do anything that gives you less than that feeling. Before you realize it, you will end up 2023 with a list full of accomplishments, even if you haven't settled one firstly. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and if somehow made you reflect more about what you have accomplished in this last year or how do you feel about the next year, please share it here below in comments. It always makes me happy to read it. Until the next time, be brave in this new year in which you have the power of building your world.